Started, and I'm gonna record this, so if someone's not on, they can just watch the recording. Okay, so I have 6 different things I'm going to talk about. Sounds like a lot, but I should get through them pretty quickly. So first off, I just wanted to talk that this. Wow, let me just start over. First off, I just wanted to say that I'm talking about attracting your dream team and your dream customers. So that's what this call is about, and how to go about attracting those people. So before I get started, I want you to write down number one, what does your dream team look like? And number two, what do your dream customers look like? And I don't just mean like their physical appearances, but like, are they going to school? Are they working a 9 to 5 job? Where do they live? What do they enjoy doing? What are their hobbies? What are their income? Like, write down, like, get inside of their head and like write down everything that you can possibly think of like what your dream team looks like. And then do the same thing for your dream customer. Is your dream customer, for me, like my dream customer is middle age. Why? Because they're the people that definitely need anti-aging hair care products and definitely need anti-aging skincare products, and they also have the money to spend way more than like someone who's a college student. I have nothing against, selling to college students. I have a lot of college student customers, but my best customers are people who are like my mom's age, for example. So that's kind of like what I'm talking about, like getting inside of your customer's head and getting inside of your dream team's head. So I'm going to give you like three, actually, probably like, yeah, I'll give you like 2 minutes to write down dream team and then dream customer list. Okay. Still need to keep writing, but I'm going to jump in. Okay. So here are my 6 different things that I'm talking about. I'm not gonna like list them all right now. I'm gonna go through them. So number one, sniper marketing. I haven't talked about this in a long time, so there might be some of you on here who are like, I have no freaking idea what sniper marketing is, and that's why I'm talking about it, because it is such a powerful weapon. And you're probably thinking like, oh, sniper marketing, huh? It's a weapon. Yeah, that's why we call it sniper marketing. And so I want you to literally take your dream team, and anytime that you hop on your story and you're talking about the business, I want you to talk specifically to your dream team or your dream customer. Okay. So when you are, talking about the products, I want you to talk specifically to your dream customer and be like, this is why you need these products. This is what it's going to help fix. Like for me, anytime I hop on my story, I might be talking more about Say for maybe I'm talking about the hair care, for example, I might talk more about, hair loss and like hair thinning than I would if like my ideal customer was like a college student, right? Because they're probably not experiencing that, but people who are in their middle ages are probably experiencing that. Okay. So you have to kind of change the way that you are talking on your stories based off of the type of people that you want to attract, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in one of the other steps. But sniper marketing doesn't just apply to when you have like an objection, or when someone is like, oh, it's too expensive, or that, wait, that's an objection, that was an example is what I was trying to say. So an objection, like for example, the products are too expensive, or I don't have enough time to join the business. That's when we usually talk about sniper marketing. And I'll just talk briefly about that if you guys haven't heard about that before. So say that you are talking to a potential market partner, okay? And they're super, super interested. And then you're like, okay, like, are you ready to get started? And they're like, no, like, I don't have enough time to do this business. Or maybe they're like, I don't have enough money to do this, okay? Immediately what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to hop on my story, or maybe I'm going to do an Instagram live about it, and I'm going to talk why this business, like why if you don't have time to do this business is exactly why you need to do this business, and how this business fits into the nooks and crannies of your life, and how you don't need 6+ hours a day to run your business on social media and like be successful doing this. So you're literally talking to that person, like not saying their name, but you're like literally talking to that person on your story as if like you were in the DMs with them, but like you can talk to them in a way more direct way when you just hop on your story and talk about it. So say that someone's talking to you, super interested in the products, they struggle with like postpartum hair loss, and you like get to the checkout, they look at the cart and they're like, it's too expensive. Immediately what I'm going to go ahead and do, obviously like I'm still going to respond to them, but immediately what I'm going to do after I've ended that conversation is I'm going to go on my stories and talk about why these products are not expensive. Okay, they're more concentrated, they're going to last longer, you're going to get what you pay for, like Lululemon leggings. Like if you go out and buy Target leggings, like honestly Target is awesome, but they don't compare to Lululemon. Okay, like you are getting what you pay for. This is a luxury hair care brand, and in the long run you're paying less. Like if you've seen any of like our little like graphic breakdowns, like if you go out and you buy a Target shampoo and conditioner, like it's going to last you like 2 months because it's not concentrated, super watered down. So I'm going to talk about all of those things and share exactly why these products are not expensive. And why do I do that? Because I know that that person is going to go on my stories, and I know that they're going to watch that and they're going to be like, oh, light bulb, that makes sense. But like if you had that conversation with them in the DMs, they're going to think that you were pushy, right? But when you go ahead and you hop on your story and talk about that, and you're obviously not saying their name, you're not like, oh, Sam and I were talking today, and she was like, oh, the products are too expensive. No, like you're not saying like their name or anything. Like you're not calling them out, but like in a way you are calling them out. So that's what sniper marketing is. But I want you guys to implement that into every aspect of what you're talking about. Okay, so anytime that you hop on your stories and you're going to talk about the business, you're going to think, hey, this is my dream team. Maybe you're going to look at that dream team list and you're going to be like, hey, my dream team, they live in Florida, they are college students, maybe they are part of a club or whatever. How can I sniper market those exact people? What things can I talk about in my story that's going to sniper market those exact people? Okay, same thing for your customers. So that's sniper marketing, and it's really something that you just have to be aware of. Okay, so every time that you go to post, I want you to think about that. How does this post apply to my dream team or my dream customer base? Okay, number 2 is education and value. If you just hop on your story and say there's a flash sale and you're like, purchase these products, they're $50 off. If you haven't posted that whole week, or if you haven't provided value or educated anyone about the products, they're not going to buy your products. I don't care how much you've posted. If every single day you hop on and you're like, this is my leave-in conditioner, you can purchase it for $25 or whatever, like no one gives two rats crap. Okay, like no one is going to purchase your products, and no one is going to want to watch your stories. Your engagement is going to plummet. People are probably going to unfollow you. So if that's happening to you, it's probably because you're not providing education and value. So what do I mean by providing education and value? You're probably like, okay, cool, like what does that even mean? Education and value. Every single time that you go to post, you have to think, what are my followers going to gain from this? Maybe it's inspiration. Okay. Maybe you hop on and you're talking about a podcast that you just listened to and you're sharing the thoughts that you had from that podcast. Awesome. That's inspiring someone. Okay. Someone's going to walk away from that being inspired. Okay. Or maybe you are talking about, I always use the berry scrub, for example. If you've ever been on a coaching call with me, I don't know why, but berry scrub is always the first thing that comes to my head. So if you're using your berry scrub and you hop on your story and you're just like, scrubbing your berry scrub on your face and you're like, oh, it makes my skin feel so soft. Like, that's awesome. But how does that benefit anyone else? Like, it doesn't benefit anyone else. But when you hop on your story, you're using your berry scrub. You're like, this makes my skin feel so soft. Like, these are the ingredients in these products. And this is why it's going to make your skin feel so soft too. Or this is how it's going to help, remove blackheads. Or maybe you want to hop on and like Google, like really quick, like, why are face masks bad for you? Probably the number one thing that's going to pop up, because I've done it before, so I know, microbeads. Microbeads are awful for the environment. They're awful for your skin. Our products don't have microbeads in them. They have cranberry seeds in them. I'm going to talk about that. Cranberry seeds are less harsh on your skin and they're better for the environment because they're biodegradable. Okay. Bang and bang. That's exactly why people should buy these products. Okay. That's why they're going to buy the berry scrub. It's going to help smooth their skin. It's going to help with their blackheads. It's going to help the environment because it's not polluting the environment, and it's going to be gentler on their skin. So someone with sensitive skin is going to be like, oh my gosh, this is finally going to be a face scrub that I can use on my skin. Okay. You see how it shifts. Okay. And then I'm just going to give you another example. Say that you hop on your story and you're like, Aspen, Megan, Zoe, and Orlandria have all earned their Cadillacs, and there's this awesome Cadillac program, and I'm super excited to earn my Cadillac. Okay, cool. How does that benefit anyone? It doesn't benefit anyone. Maybe what you want to do is you want to find someone who has earned their Cadillac and share their story. Maybe they had a freaking crappy car before. Maybe they didn't even have a car before. And then this car program allowed them to have not only a car, but a luxury car that they earned with their hard work. Okay. So sharing people's stories, you have to switch up the way that you go about posting and providing value, because if you just hop on your story and you're like, here's my shampoo and conditioner, like I said, no one freaking cares about that. No one's going to want to purchase from you. And that's why we always say with flash sales, educate and provide value before you talk about the deal. Why? Because once you've done that, people are like, oh, it just freaking makes sense why I'm going to purchase these products, because you just told me why I should purchase them. And now you're telling me that they're 50% off. Like, of course I'm going to freaking buy these products. Okay. So anytime there's a flash sale, same exact thing. Anytime that you go to post, education and value, what is someone going to take away from this post? You always have to be thinking about that. Anytime that you hop on your story talking about shampoo and conditioner, what is someone going to take away from that? Maybe you need to add in the fact that our products don't have sulfates in them, and sulfates dry out your hair and cause damage. Someone who's going to watch your post is going to walk away from that thinking, holy crap, my products probably have sulfates in them because my hair is dry all the time. That's what you want to do. They don't have to necessarily reach out to you and be like, I'm ready to purchase the products, but you want to take people's thoughts not just on your story at the moment, but you want them to think about you when they leave the story too. Does that make sense? Anyone? Everyone? Nod your head. I can only see two people, but nod your head if that makes sense. Okay, cool. Awesome. So that's number 2, educating and providing value. And just ask yourself that question. Same thing with sniper marketing. Like I said, asking yourself the question if what you're putting out is attracting your dream team or dream client. Same with education and value. Is what you're putting out educational or providing value in some sort of way? Okay, number 3 is hashtags. Now that you've written down what your dream team looks like, your dream customer base looks like, go out and find hashtags that target those people. Okay. For example, maybe your dream team, like I was talking about, maybe they live in Florida, maybe they're college students, and maybe they're part of a club. Look up the hashtag for that club. Maybe look up a hashtag of a university that they go to in Florida. Maybe look up hashtag, college students, college babes. There's so many different hashtags that you can look up. You want to target the people that you want to attract. Okay. And that you're going to not only going to do that through your stories and through your posts, but you're going to do that through your hashtags as well. Maybe your customer, your like dream customer is like a mommy blogger, for example. Like, I don't know where the heck these come out of my head from, but like maybe that's your dream customer. you're going to want to look up hashtags that are related to those people, right? Because people look at hashtags, they're going to find your profile from that. They're going to be like, holy crap, like I struggle with postpartum hair loss. Like I freaking need these products. And they found you through a hashtag. Okay. Maybe you're going to use hashtag postpartum hair loss. Maybe you're going to use hashtag curly girl because you have curly hair. You want to target other people who have curly hair. Maybe you're going to even use hashtag split ends. Like there's actually a hashtag out there that's hashtag split ends. You have to think even deeper into every aspect of what you're doing to target the people that you want to target. So that's number 3. Number 4 is sharing your story. I kind of touched on this with the Cadillac that I was just talking about, but when was the last time that you shared your story on a post or on your story, like on your Instagram story? Like for me personally, like I just did a reel not that long ago where I shared my story, but I cannot even tell you the last time that I shared my story on my Instagram story. Like I just forget all the time to do it. And so make sure that you're sharing your story over and over and over again, because not only in this business do we want to share our stories, but number 2, hopefully you're attracting new people to your page every single day. And if you only share your story on your Instagram once a month, who in the freak is going to see that? No one's going to see that. No one's going to know you. No one's going to know your story. So you have to be continually sharing it. Orlandria is literally the best example of this possible. She's always talking about freaking Rejuvenique oil. If you follow her, you look at her post, you're like, oh, she's probably talking about Rejuvenique oil. If you guess that, you're probably right, because she's always talking about it. But it's because she always is wanting to grow her page, and she's always growing. She always has new people coming in. She always has different faces who are viewing her stories. Talk about the same things over and over and over again. Share your story over and over again. People need to hear your story. Stories sell. Stories sell. Not just your story in the business, not just why you joined. Share your hair care story. Share your skincare story. Share your transformations. Those are stories. Stories are what sell people. And if you don't have stories to sell people on yet, share other people's stories. There's so many people in this business. I could literally give you 1,000 people's stories to share. Okay. Aspen, she struggles with psoriasis. She uses the Rejuvenique oil and it helps with her psoriasis. Okay. Zoe, she barely had enough money to join this business. Like she literally put it on a credit card. Share her story. Now she's like living her dream life. She's earned her Cadillac. So many different people's stories out there. So if you're like, I don't, I've shared my story 100,000 times. People aren't resonating. There are other people's stories to share about too. And it doesn't mean that your story is less than. No, keep sharing your story. Always be sharing your story in different ways. Share it in reels, share it in live, share it in IGTVs, share it in your posts, share it in your stories. Okay. There's so many different ways to share your story. Don't just feel like you have to just share it on your Instagram story. Okay. Number 5 is niche. Kind of hit on this, like, I think it was 2 Mondays ago on the training call, but niche is so, so, so important, because you want to, let me backtrack on that. Niche is really important because what you are posting should relate to your niche, and your niche should relate to your dream team and your dream customers. So what you are posting should relate to your niche. Cough, cough. What you're posting should relate to your niche, and what your niche should be relating to is who you want to attract. And that all goes back to just sitting down, figuring out what your niche is, and it might take some time. It might take a lot of time, but you have to figure out what your niche is, because if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. So if you're just posting to talk about everyone, talking about every hair type, no, majority of my customers have dry, broken, and damaged hair. You want to know why? Because my hair was dry, broken, and damaged before I started using these products. And that's the kind of person that I attract, because that's the story that I tell on my Instagram over and over and over again. If there's ever a flash sale where there's like 100 different products that you can use or like customize with the flash sale, I'm always going to talk about the products that help with dry, damaged, and broken hair over and over and over again, because that is the type of person that I'm attracting, because that's what my story is. Okay. The type of person that I attract for my team, majority of you guys are students. Why is that? Because I was a student when I started this business, and that's who I'm attracted to. That's who I'm trying to attract out there, is because I was a student, and that's who I'm attracting. Okay. There are people like Aspen who attract a lot of people who quit their, or want to quit their 9-to-5 jobs. That's because she quit her 9-to-5 job. So who you want to attract also applies a lot to who you are and what your story is. So you might have to sit down and figure out what your story is, and that's okay. There might be a lot of sitting down and writing and figuring out, but it takes time. But it's so worth it. I promise you, it's so worth it, because once you start talking to one specific person, it's going to be a game changer for you. It's going to be a game changer for your content, because you're not going to be so overwhelmed. You're not going to feel like when there's a flash sale, you're like, I don't even know what to talk about, because, you know, this flash sale has skincare and hair care and wellness and like 20 different hair care products. And you're like, I don't even know where to start, what to even talk about. You're always going to go back to who is your dream customer. And then you're gonna be like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like, I'm gonna talk about dry, damaged hair. Like, what products help with dry, damaged hair? I'm gonna talk about that over and over and over again. And it doesn't mean that these products don't work for people who have oily hair. It doesn't mean that. But like, I don't have oily hair, so why am I hopping on my story talking about products that help with oily hair, right? It doesn't make sense. Hopefully that makes sense with niche, but with that as well, your reels should apply to that as well. So it's awesome that you're putting out reels, but if you're putting out reels that do not pertain to a niche or your 5 brand pillars, you are shooting yourself in the foot, and there's absolutely no reason that you put in the work for that reel. Like, it's literally like that reel is completely pointless. And I'm sorry to say that, but it really is. I'm not saying that you can't do funny reels. I'm not saying that you can't do reels outside of your niche, but majority of your reels should apply to your niche, because that's the type of person that you want to attract. Okay. If you put out, you know, a reel and it's talking about, I'm trying to think of something that's like totally outside of my niche. If I put out a reel that talks about, you know, like leaving your 9 to 5 job, and I have a ton of people who reach out to me and they're super interested in that, like, that's not my dream team. Like, I'm not trying to attract people who are leaving their 9 to 5 job. Like, that's what Aspen's doing. There are other people out there who are doing that. Maybe you want to do that. That's awesome. I've never worked a 9 to 5 job. So why would I want to go out there and attract people who are wanting to leave their 9 to 5 job? Like, that's just not who I am. Like, I'm trying to attract people who are wanting to work this into the nooks and crannies of their life, and also people who are micro influencers or who are wanting to make money on social media. Like, that's who I'm wanting to attract. So all of my reels are going, not all of them, but like all the reels about the business are going to try to attract those types of people. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, feel free to message me after, but that is something that is extremely, extremely important with the reels challenge that's going on. Hopefully all of you guys are in that, but I've seen a lot of reels that don't apply to people's niches. And there's, like I said, there's nothing wrong with having a few reels that don't apply to your niche if they're like funny or, you know, informational, or they apply to like your 5 brand pillars. Like, that's okay. That's awesome. But don't let all of them do that, and don't put out reels that don't apply to your niche. Gosh, I don't want it to be like, I don't want you to feel like you have to do every reel applied to your niche. Hopefully that makes sense. Like, don't do every single reel applied to your niche. Like, that will overwhelm your audience. Like, feel free to do things that like seem fun to you. Like, I'm not saying you can't do that, but just really focusing in on your niche, especially if you're wanting to attract your dream customer and your dream team. Wow, I'm like losing my voice. Okay, that's all I have on niche. Number 6, which is the last one, is consistency. I'm going to tell you for the 500,000 millionth time, consistency is key. If you want to attract your dream team or your dream customer and you are showing up once a week, it will not happen, honey. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break that to you. I'm sorry if that's hard news for you to hear, but it's not going to happen. Consistency is key. I get people in my messages all the time. They're like, holy crap, like, you're always on the leaderboard. How do you do it? Literally, I have showed up every freaking single day since I started my business on December 3rd of 2019. The only days that I have not showed up is when my Instagram literally was shut down. Like, that is the only time that I have not showed up, and it's because I had a freaking great excuse because I didn't have my Instagram. But I showed up on Facebook when I didn't have my Instagram. I've always showed up every single freaking day, and it pays off. The hard work always pays off. And Aspen talked about that in her call last night, which was posted on the Humble Hustlers Facebook page if you didn't watch that, but it was awesome. Basically, she was talking about the same thing, that consistency is key. And with consistency, it doesn't mean that you posting a picture of your bed and saying, good morning, and then not saying anything for the rest of the day. That doesn't count. That doesn't count as working your business or posting about the products or posting about the business. It doesn't freaking count. I'm sorry, just like break that to you. Like, I don't mean to be rude, but it doesn't count. And I don't care if you post that picture of your bed and you don't do anything about that. Like, I truthfully don't care. But if you want to hit your goals, if you're wanting to hit your goals, if you're wanting to hit your rank, don't do that because it doesn't work out. How do I know? Because I have all those people who message me. The reason why they message me asking me about how I blow up my business every single month, how I'm on the leaderboard, is because they're not doing the work. They're not showing up consistently. And I have nothing against that. But I have everything against it if you come into my messages and you're saying, this business does not work, and I see that you do not show up every single day. I will tell you because I'm going to be straight up honest with you because you mean the world to me and I want you to hit your goals and I know that you can hit your goals. But if you come to me with those lousy excuses, I'm going to straight up tell you and be straight up honest with you why you're not hitting your goals. Not because I'm rude, but because I love you and I want you to hit your goals and I'm here for you and I want to be honest with you 100% all of the time. Wow, getting like choked up on that. I love you. I want you to hit your goals. If I ever seem harsh, it's because I truthfully love you, and please don't take any offense to that. With the last thing with consistency as well, when you show up on your stories, or well, yeah, when you show up on your stories and you're talking about the products or the business, you have the open sign on your business. And what do I mean by this? You know that neon sign that's outside of like businesses that says open, and when the neon sign isn't on, it's closed, right? You know that the business is open or you know the business is closed. When you're talking about the products or when you're talking about the business, the open sign on your business is open. It's on. Okay. When you're not talking about the products or business on your stories, that sign is off. And people recognize that. You want to know how? You want to know why? I promise you that you will get a message one of these days. If not, in the next few weeks, if not in the next few months, I promise you that someone will message you and say, I've been watching your stories every day for the last however many months, however many years. I'm finally ready to join. I'm finally ready to purchase. Or maybe they're just saying it because they're proud of you. They're going to message you and be like, I've been watching you. Like, you're doing an amazing job. I promise you that you will get one of those messages if you haven't already, but only if you're showing up consistently. Because people recognize that. People see the hard work that you're putting in, even if you don't think that anyone's watching. I promise you that they're watching. And one of the last things I want to say, I received a message today from a girl that I went to high school with. And I've tried to get her to purchase the products over and over again. She's responded to my polls and she hasn't pulled the trigger. Today she messaged me and she said, you know what? I had such a bad rap. Like, I had such a bad mindset about people who did network marketing. Like, I literally made fun of them, is what she said, until you changed my mind about it. She said, I have been watching you for the last 1.5 years, and you have changed my mind. You've changed the stigma on network marketing. And like, that was the hugest compliment that I could ever get. And it literally brought me to tears because that is what I'm here to do. I'm here to change the stigma, and I'm here to show people that this can be something that they can do long term, and it can be something that changes their life. But the only way that people recognize that is when you show up and when you believe. And I promise you that there are people who will recognize that. If you're just starting out, there are going to be people who recognize that even within the next few weeks, even within the next few months, and they're going to tell you that. And that's going to be the hugest compliment that you can possibly get, because consistency is key and people recognize consistency. And that's what sets you apart from the people who succeed in this business and the people who fail, is consistency. Literally, that is it. There's nothing different about me than there is about you guys. Literally nothing. I've just showed up every single freaking day. And guess what? You can do the same thing too. You might be, a few months behind me. You might be a few years behind me. That means nothing. If you were willing to put in the work and be consistent, you can be in my place. You can be SED. You can be in the $1 million club, the $5 million club, the $10 million club. I promise you that if you show up consistently. I was on a call with Daniel G last night. And this is the last thing I want to leave you with. He said, you don't get paid by looking up. You get paid by looking down, by putting your head down and grinding every single day. And that hit me like a freaking train. It's so true. You can look up all you want. You can look at Aspen. You can look at Jacqueline. You can look at the $5 million club earners. That's awesome. Use that as inspiration. But looking at those people every single day is not going to get you anywhere. What's going to get you somewhere is by looking down, focusing on you, focusing on what you can do every single day, putting in the work and showing up consistently. That is what's going to make you money. That is what's going to get you to those positions that you are inspired by. Not by looking up, but by looking down. Focus on the work that you have to do and effort that you are putting in. I promise that the results will come. I promise you that. It might not be in your time frame, but the results will come 110%. This business model never fails. It is one of the oldest business models, one of the most successful business models, and there is a reason behind that because it works, but you have to be willing to put in the work. The business model works 100% every single time. Do you work 100% every single time? And that is what I leave you with. I love you all. This was recorded and it will be posted on the YouTube page. If you have any questions, feel free to message me and let's go out, freaking kill the rest of this week. We're almost to the 15th, which means you should be halfway to your goals. And if you're not there yet, hop on a freaking coaching call with me because I'm here for you every single step of the way. And I want you to hit your goals. And I love you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your night.